let's make sure we have stream actually up and running. Thing is, every single time I do this stream, what happens? The Wi-Fi cuts out in the dang center of it. So we're gonna hope, for my sake and for yours, that this doesn't happen this time. It typically does. We'll see. Anyway. Hello, chat. We are back with some more Nightreign. Ooh, and it's time. It's time for the weekly Everdark Smackdown. That's right, baby. Let's just get this thing kicked off. Hold up. Let's get analytics open real quick, just to make sure that everything is actually working. All right. We have stream open on my laptop. We have everything sorted out, and we're just going to hop straight in. Those of you who tuned into the... Oh. Seems I didn't close the game properly last time. So them warning me about losing progress that I really don't think I'm going to lose, so I don't really care all that much. But we're going to go back to my normal character to take a look at the bosses for this week. Now, for those of you who tuned in for the other ones, you know how this works. For those of you who didn't, let me tell you how this happens. Basically, the hard mode versions of 3 random bosses will be rotated in every single week. Wednesday, here in the evening, but I always stream it the next day just because it's super late when they do rotate. But here's what we're going to do. We're going to go from top to bottom and defeat the bosses. The 3 hard mode bosses right there that had the little blue dots next to them. We're going to defeat them from top to bottom in order, and we are going to just... I don't know, we're just going to get started, I guess. Might as well. Well, let's take a little peek at what we have. Tricephalos. This one is a very tough one. I will let you know. This is a very, very strong Everdark. Definitely one of the hardest Everdark Sovereigns to be put in the game, I would think anyway, just because of its obscene damage output. And while typically for normal Tricephalos, all the way up here, you don't need a holy weapon. It helps, you don't need it. Everdark, you absolutely need it. You cannot get by without a holy weapon against Everdark Tricephalos. Next, Gaping Jaw. Weakness is poison. This is funny because against the Everdark Sovereign, poison actually does nothing. It is 0 good. It does constant damage, but it is normal poison. It has no special effects on Gaping Jaw in his Everdark Sovereign form. In the original fight up here, poison would actually do what it says on the bottom, stop it in its tracks, and it would vomit up the poison, dealing massive damage to it in an instant, rather than over time, curing the poison in the process. However, the third one is Everdark Sovereign Darkdrift Knight. Now this, probably one of my favorite Everdark Sovereigns of the entire bunch. It's just fantastic. Lightning is still a necessity for the first phase. Well, not a necessity. It helps tremendously, because if you attack, when Darkdrift Knight does the spear, the erupting spear attack, where spears will erupt from the ground underneath you periodically and all across the stage, that attack can be cancelled by finding the proper affinity type weapon. So, and he still has that attack in the first phase of this fight. In the original fight, he had it for the entire second phase. In this fight, he has it for the first phase, and then he goes into his new phase, which, just absolute cinema. But anyway, we're going to just hop straight in with Everdark Gladius. But first, an important announcement. The script is done. The egg video script is completed. Completed. That means, or at least it's completed to where it's going to be. That means, when I find the time to get enough material put together to actually make it into a video and not just an essay, it's getting published. Oh, it's getting published. Now, I am going to have to make a sad announcement. Unfortunately, it's not going to be 45 minutes. I exaggerated. There's just... Listen, while I'm in classes, it's not easy to put that kind of research into a video. Surely to goodness you can understand that. So I'm sorry in advance. The full 45 minutes is not happening, but you'll get 15 at least. At least 15. It might be a little bit over. Might be a little bit under. Nah, it won't be a little bit under. It'll be over. But anyway, on that sadly disappointing note, let's just hop straight into the Everdarks for this week. Starting with the hardest. Arguably the hardest. In my professional opinion, the hardest of the three, Tricephalos. Here we go. Sorry, had to let someone know that I was live. So the key with Everdark Tricephalos, you need to find a holy weapon. Your run will suffer tremendously if you don't. And we're gonna hope that this stream doesn't get cut off. Doesn't get cut off in the middle by bad connectivity or my Wi-Fi just straight up cutting out. But hey, if it does, it does, and we'll just push this stream to Sunday. So I'm not willing to do two attempts of the weekly Everdark Smackdown in a row. I just don't have that kind of time investment in me at the moment. Here, let's take out the demi-humans. Alright, demi-humans exterminated. For guard counters, however, pro tip for those of you who aren't sure, or haven't noticed it, its base damage is only one lower than Wilder's Greatsword on this setup when two-handing. So it's kind of a no-brainer. I mean, it's insanely strong. It's insanely fast. It's just an overall really good option. Hey, that's nice. So now what we're going to do, something I typically wouldn't, well actually no, it's something I typically would do. We're going to level up to level 3. 2, I mean, not 3. We can't get 3 off the starting camp. We're going to hop this direction, over to this spirit stream. We're going to go over to that tree. We are going to fly over the Rotwoods. And by flying over the Rotwoods, we can find the Rotwoods Blessing on day 1. That is a big time saver, if we can pull it off. Because that means that we no longer need to go to this marked fort in the back. It means we can just go straight to fighting all the bosses that are located inside the Rotwoods. I did not trigger Rotwoods, so I'm not really sure how this happened, but I'm very thankful for it. Okay, I don't think it's over there. The other thing that's helpful is there are only 3 places the Rotwoods Blessing can actually spawn. Ah, it's here. And sometimes, if you're really lucky, it will be right here, so you can just drop straight in. Oh gosh, I missed the tree. Sorry. Looking at a text. But now, we got the Rotwoods Blessing on day 1. That's huge. Because that means, A, that for the rest of the run we have increased health, which is already super nice. B, it means that, again, on day 2, when we are like level-wise well equipped to do the Rotwoods, we can just come straight in and start killing bosses, smacking fools, you know? But here's what I'm going to try to do with the time left in the first day. I'm going to try and go over here and get an Inconvenient Church. Then I'm going to grab this fort, probably get a key out of it, do Lake Everjail. I feel like that's a nice little line we're going to make. And yeah, it's been a minute since I've actually... I don't know, I've noticed a slow decline in my Nightreign playing. Not like in like how well I can manage the game. I really, not to sound narcissistic, I don't think that's declined. Just in case. Typically I wouldn't do that, but just in case. Just in case, chat. Noticed a slow decline in how much I'm playing Nightreign, is what I'm trying to say. I just got Core Keeper going on, I got classes, I have other things. You know, I've got things to do. And while Nightreign is awesome, I basically only play it with my co-op buddy in the evenings. And of course, I'm not streaming that, because like that's just, you know, chill time, and we just talk about stuff. We yap a lot. Yeah, let's see where the circle is. Perfect! That's what I love to see. Come over here. Come and get some, politely. You think you're him? You think you're him? I'm him. Oh, come on, man. I'm trying to respond to a text real quick. Okay, sorry guys, I typically wouldn't do this. Don't respond to a text in the middle of a match like this. Alright, back to pure gameplay. We're going to check this chest over here, even though it typically doesn't have anything all that helpful. Now we're going to do this fort. Completely... Check these chests, because occasionally they... Oh, man, I thought he was doing a quick swing. Okay, now that I'm actually in a bit of a bind. Let's get out of that corner real quick. Okay, cool. See, I need to get DS2 out of my head, because I pressed R1 when I meant to do it double strong. Okay, let's get... I should not have run in here, I knew better. But nope, oh my gosh, stop sidestepping, it's just annoying. Really, dude? Gonna be like that now. Okay, this runs off to a really rough start, but we can pull this back together. With something like that. Yes, sir. Now we've got a big, hard-hitting weapon. Ain't nothing like it. Alright, we're going to blow you up. And we're going to perform a critical. Probably. Yep, just about killed you. Let's get back into the swing of things. So... Oh my gosh, no, that's way better, that's way better. Hold up. Dude, why are... These enemies are so annoying. However, that doesn't matter. Did I get a stone sword key? I didn't even loot the chest yet. Okay, let's loot the chest, get a stone sword key. Alright, now here's what we're gonna do. We're revising the strategy because I was being pretty inefficient with my time, and I was checking text when I shouldn't have been. We're going to hop into this cathedral. We're going to possibly get a second stone sword key. We got item discovery. Always take item discovery, chat. It's seriously an underrated effect. Like, nobody takes it. I'm like, you do know that increases your chances of, like, getting stuff, right? That's how we do it. Held L2 the entire time. Zero skill involved. Now what we're going to do is we're going to power stance these swords, right? So we got a Claymore, and we got a Banished Knight's Greatsword. Of course, yeah, easy to say that this works for what I'm doing. But of course, I need a holy weapon by the end of the run. A good holy weapon by the end of the run. Like, I'm not talking about, like, a... Oh, well, I just need something to debuff him. I need, like, holy damage constant. I need a constant holy damage weapon. That's what I'm trying to say. So what I'm actually going to do... Hop over here to these Albinoric ruins. We're going to kill the Albinorics. We're going to do the Everdale next to it because I have a key. For fun. For runes. I mean. And we're going to hope that the holy weapon we get out of the loot pool is passable. Because if it's passable, then we'll go through this tunnel here, we'll get a smithing stone 2, and we will make the rest of this run happen. Night. Alright, let's give that dude a good and proper whack. I ducked under it because I did the thing at the perfect time. Wow! Never mind. Best thing ever. We don't even need a smithing stone 2. That's even better. That's perfect, actually. And I know I said that I'd do the Everjail next to these ruins, but I've already started moving. I got too excited. But yeah, that's insanely lucky. That is a very good weapon. Because that is not only... Okay, the fire on charge attacks. Not super helpful. But it's a super powerful, hard-hitting holy weapon with a very strong skill. That's the main thing. It's a hard-hitting holy weapon. It's very strong. And so, the holy work continues. So we're going to drop into the top of this church here, then we're going to drop down and do that Everjail right next to it. Since I forgot to do the one by the holy ruins. Because, of course. Sadly, I can't use the weapon yet, as I am not level 7. But we can fix that. A freak, of course. Let's try and take care of you real quick. There's not much I could do there. Dude, stop being jerks. Dude, stop. I hate these guys. You're dying first. Yeah, I'm killing these dudes out of stubbornness. This is a bad idea. Don't do this, chat. This is a bad example. But out of pure stubbornness, these guys are dying. Cool, that stun locks me through a skill that gives me like crazy intense hyper armor. It's amazing design. It's a joke, of course. These things are horribly designed. I mean, something that they evidently just did not take into consideration is the fact that for like the first 5 seconds of the fight, they all just, and it's not even like just like they're pretty likely to. They pretty much always will just bum rush you for the first like 5 seconds of the fight. Which in a solo situation, like no character can safely survive that. That's my issue with the boss. It's annoying. It's not even like difficult. It's just annoying in a time sink. So arguably, I should have just ditched it when I saw that it was those guys. I'll admit that. If I dislike those guys so much, yes, I should have ditched it. Oh, okay, cool, I'll take that. Yeah, absolutely. No, I'm happy with that. There, now that I'm level 7 for sure. Well, offhand this so I get HP back on landing attacks. Now we just ground. Negation of HP. I have no desire to fight Red Wolf. Okay, so this run's been off to a pretty rough start. I will be the first to admit that. That being said, I have an amazing weapon. It's been off to an... Let's rephrase that. It's not been off to a rough start. It's been off to an annoying start. More than anything. It was just annoying. Wasn't detrimental, wasn't bad, necessarily. It was just annoying, really. Let's see what we got. Crude damage negation at low HP. I don't hate that. I need to pay better attention to what I pick up. Because, like, I just didn't know that I picked that up. Or no, I did, because I remembered getting it. So I was like, ooh, good weapon, good weapon. I ditched in like 5 seconds, never even used it. Now, here he is, the dreaded bell-bearing hunter. In all seriousness, everybody's like over-exaggerates this dude's difficulty like big time. He's really not that bad. Stop trying to rotate to hit me with your sword instead of... Dude, why are you not doing the shield bash? Ever. Do the shield bash. I'm behind... Oh my gosh. I'm not... The heck, dude? Why is he not doing the shield bash? What the heck? Oh, I'm not hitting him until he does the shield bash. There we go. I'll admit, bad idea to do another time. Love how he just knocked me out of that. Let's stop trying to get cute. Let's just lock the heck in. In all seriousness, he's not intimidating to me, so I really don't care. We'll do that. I've actually learned over time, if you're trying to use an affinity against a boss that's weak to a certain affinity, never take critical hits inflict blood loss unless you just don't intend to do them. Because what critical hits inflict blood loss does is, yes, it makes your weapon start dealing blood loss. It also overrides what was already there. So, like, because you're doing blood loss now, you are no longer doing holy or fire or magic or whatever you were trying to use against the boss. Making it effectively... putting you at a horrible disadvantage by trying to use blood loss against the boss. They don't do a very good job of explaining that it actually cancels the affinity, but it does. And it's not saying that, okay, it doesn't cancel the affinity damage. You still do the affinity damage. It cancels your ability to enact the proper debuffs on the boss, however. So if you have, like, a Fire Omen Cleaver or something, that's what I beat Sentient Pest with the first time. If you have a Fire Omen Cleaver, and you do a critical hit on Noster, let's just hypothetically say that that's something that could actually happen, and you try to hit Noster after doing the critical hit to light it on fire. You can't light it on fire until the blood gets off your sword, because the blood loss effect overrides your ability to inflict the status, like status ailment and affinity type debuffs to the Night Lords. Like, you're not going to be able to debuff Hailstir if your critical hits inflict blood loss, and even if you are using a holy weapon. Now let's go in and let's take care of Magmorm here. This is a pretty good weapon for Magmorm, if I do say so myself. It's not a fire weapon. It has a fiery after effect, but that's not the bulk. Oh my gosh! See what I mean, though, about Beast Claw Great Hammer having a powerful skill? I mean, jeez, man. Regal Beast Claws, right. There ain't nothing common about that. Now, I'm a bit confused as to why it knocked me back in. Stop charging! Dude! Stop running around, that's right. Suck on my rain of stars. HP restoration. Ooh, that's good. There we go. I will take that over. I don't know, charged incantations? Why am I even holding on to that? But now I have another affinity to use that's effective. So here, let's try and do a Rotwood sweep, where we just kill everything, no matter what. So that's Ulcerated Tree Spirit. We'll do that next. After this thing, I mean. This is Erdtree Avatar. I mean, talk about easy. I have a fire weapon, too. Or, correction, I have a fire attack. I wish I had some fire grease. That would help. Please don't instantly. I'm fine with that, honestly. I just didn't want him to instantly do the golden, like, beam attack. Like that! Yeah, the Rain of Stars is actually really good. I do like it. I don't give it enough credit. It actually does a surprising amount of damage. Visage Shield. Yes. Oh, I thought that was the knight already moving. I was about to say, think. I was about to say, like, seriously? I just started. No, that's a meteorite falling. We're good with that. We love meteorites. We love to see it. We love to see it. Here's the thing, right? I don't think so. I almost killed that thing, doing nothing but holding L2. Visage Shield's an awesome, especially if you're fighting something like that that's weak to fire. Oh, that's beautiful. If I'm not using that, then I'm going to get rid of it. It's just taking up unnecessary inventory space, but skill attack power. Big stuff. Nice thing to find. I have a good holy weapon already, so I'm not too worried about that. Oh, I have a fire skill, and here is Walking Simulator. You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna walk. Let's go for a walk. I like to think that the canonical name of Ancestor Spirit is Benjamin. Button, press, and you win. See, I mean, it's so... That's really good. I like that. We're going to ditch... Should I ditch? What should I ditch? It's pretty good. I'll ditch item discovery. I feel like my item discovery is good. Of course, I might feel like it's good because that was making it good. We don't know. So far, so good. We've been on for 28 minutes and no... Oh my gosh, get up this log. At this point, it's more of a principle thing than it is like an actually like practical thing. I'm getting up this log. Don't do this. This is a horrible idea. If you struggle that much to get up that log, it's typically because you're not really supposed to be able to get up it. And yes, that's probably true. It wasn't as effective as I would have liked it to be. That was more effective. We'll stick with this. Ah, crap. Oh my god, this move has hyper armor until it doesn't. Slightly. Just... Really, dude? They need to make more flying enemies. That's what we need. More flying enemies that stay out of reach constantly. I guess we'll do that. Nothing was really too good out of that loot bowl. But on the upside, we are definitely going to be able to finish Rotwoods in its entirety. Who knows? Of course, this is the piece of crap boss that's left. Yeah, I don't care. Oh my gosh, stupid pests. Shooting their stupid threads at me all the time, man. Okay, you could stop now. That'd be great. Alright, we handled that well. And now she's dead. Ooh, that's really good. That's the thing. I don't really... I kind of just want a legendary weapon in my inventory, and I know that's a horrible reason to put one in there, but, like... Oh, you are so dead. You are so dead, my friend. I actually have a much better idea. Here's what we're going to do, right? We're going to power stance Holy Great Hammers. Because all that shield had on it was item discovery. I mean, small loss in all consideration. And it's a fire weapon. I'm not going to be using that against Gladius. That's going to do more good in the end than FP restoration on defeating enemies. Like, you can't defeat the little dogs. Or the dogs. The individual dogs. Whatever. Whatever I was trying to say. You get the point. Why? Please stop. And I guess I have blunt weapons. It's not that big of a deal. I just really don't like Crystallians. For stuff like that, that's why I don't like Crystallians. Just because their robotic movements, frankly, annoy me. This is going to hurt. Alright, we'll take improved stance breaking. That 10,000 runes is not going to make the difference between max level and level 14. Besides, I'm going to reach max level. Which, by the way, you'll want to try and get max level against Everdark Gladius, because wow, is it hard. And anything you can do to increase the size of your health bar or your defense in general, do it. So it's insanely lucky that I got Rotwoods, actually. So now, just because there's nothing left to do besides this, we're going to head up to the fort. Just going to kill the knight up top real quick, and we'll call that Rotwoods. Right. Let's get up here and just kill this knight real fast. He should be just about dead now. Yeah. Eh. I mean, unsurprisingly, I really don't care about either of those. But here, let's go check merchant stock, see if he has anything interesting. Oh wait, I'm trying to set a good example. Yeah, buy the Wind and Grace. Always buy a Wind and Grace or something. If there be a Wind and Grace available, take it. Just trust me. You won't regret it against Everdark Gladius, who is very likely to one-shot you with a lot of his attacks. Especially if you're any character besides Wilder or Raider. Saw my life flash before my eyes there, even though that wouldn't have done much to me at all. Hey, okay, that's good, that's good, that's good. Probably not doing a lot of charge attacks necessarily, because the fire is not going to be that helpful. So I will take attack up when wielding 2 armaments instead. I feel like that's definitely more helpful. Now we're just going to kind of wait on the boss. And even though it's best to get into Rotwoods as early as possible, if we didn't get a good holy weapon out of these runes in the top left, I would have highly, suggested going to the, whatchamacallit, the holy ruins down here. Alright, so let's take care of that. Where do you think you're going? Hey, did I say you could go away? I don't believe I did. Kill these little guys first, since they're the ones being aggressive for some reason. I mean, I wanted to do a jump attack to finish that off, but whatever. Cool. Where's the boss? There we go. Now let's run straight into the center and let's pop these 2 dudes off their horses. Give you a good old crunch. If Tree Sentinel could stop attacking me while I'm trying to kill his friends, that'd be great. There we go. Royal Cavalrymen are taken care of. And now it's time for the Tree Sentinel to go. Could have gone for an attack there, but I was pretty sure I was going to get hit, so best typically to just abstain from that. That did a lot of damage. Love to see it. Yeah, we're just gonna end this fight, honestly. Couldn't put up more of a fight. That's just sad. We're gonna take faster art buildup. And we're gonna head into the final encounter of the first run. Day 3. Might as well, right? I'm setting a good example, or I'm supposed to be setting a good example of how you should probably fight this thing reasonably. Let's take a look at what we've got. We have fire following charge attacks that land. Not going to be all that helpful. Boss is pretty resistant to fire. We're not going to use charge attacks, really. Improve skill attack power. We might use skills occasionally. Chain attack finishers, probably not going to use that all that much. Critical hits is going to help when we get them. Attack up wielding 2 armaments is the main thing, because now I've got 2 great hammers, so I'm going to be getting an attack boost from that. But without further ado, let's get right into the first of the 3 Everdarks for this week. Really? Of course the dog in the back had to do some fire. Alright, let's roll out. Just watch the dogs. Watch them carefully. And there's nothing I can do about that. I can't see everything. Stop spitting fire at me, man. Dude, I already jumped. There's nothing I could do. Stop running away. Fight. Come on, man. That's the problem. They just keep running away. I can't put them out of this phase. Your goal, typically, is to get them out of this phase as fast as humanly possible, which sometimes means just doing this and running with it. Whatever works. Now, okay, the phase is over. Now we're going into the third phase. So get ready, because at the very, very beginning, it's going to do that. Start running towards it. It's going to slam, dodge. Like about half a second-ish after it lands the sword, I mean. Dodge right. Watch out for that. Dodge right. Start walking in, then dodge in, then to the right. Dodge in on both of these. Don't attack it. While it's slow walking like this, if you attack it, it gets an attack boost. Don't do it. Just get ready to dodge that fire wave. It baffles me how many people don't know that about the boss, who have been like playing this game for a long time. Okay, that was bad. Typically on that attack, you don't want to go in for multiple attacks like I did. You want to just go in for one, maybe. Because going in for multiple attacks, if it does that attack, you can't escape it. Alright. Now this is the triple fire wave attack. So we're going to go dodge, and wait, dodge, and I have to dodge a little bit quicker here. Just slightly, though. Slow walking. And it's going to... It's doing... Oh, it's doing this again. Okay. Dodge forward. Dodge forward. Watch your feet. Ah, got chipped. Oh yeah, game's chaotic, definitely. Alright, the grab attack is laughably easy to dodge. I wasn't even really trying, and I didn't get hit by it. But one dodge, two dodge, then... And be sure to dodge that fire wave after the fact. Now, for this part's tricky. Keep your eyes. You'll want to lock onto one of these dogs closer to you, but you can't. Because big dog in the back, you saw what he... Oh my gosh, stop being annoying. Problem, as you saw, is these dogs keep attacking. So you have to lock onto the dog in the back, constantly watch him, because he's going to do the big fire wave attack, but you can't constantly just watch that dog, because the other dogs are attacking you. Ideally, what you do is this, and then you get hit by the dog instantly and die, but that's okay. That's why we stocked up on revives. Because stuff like that just happens, and I'm not willing to lose a run to something like that. And neither should you be. It shouldn't be okay with you. But now that it's approaching us, we're going to just pop our big explosion, and that will be the fight. Definitely one of the harder ones, but also, I wasn't playing too well compared to how I usually do, so that's just par for the course, you know? But anyway, that's the first boss of the Smackdown. There are two more. And then we'll move on. Probably, I'm going to move on to Core Keeper after this, I feel like. Nope. 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 And I'll pass on that too. Now then, let's move on to the next one, which is Gaping Jaw. Gaping Jaw, as opposed to Tricephalos, Gaping Jaw, you don't need to find its weakness. I can throw anything together and it'll work. As long as it's an effective weapon in general. It doesn't need to be effective for specifically Gaping Jaw, but it does need to be a good weapon. I can't obviously beat him with, like, a walking stick or something. So here, let's ditch the shield. I really never use that anyway. Let's get around on you. Backstab. Backstab. Basically, I want to backstab as many enemies as I can because one of my special effects is I get paid 600 money to do it, basically. So if I'm getting paid to do nothing but walk around an enemy and hit it from the back instead of from the front, why not get paid to do that? Now the only thing, I could have sworn there was a guy with a box. Guess not. Okay. And that's alright. We'll take that for later. We're gonna hop up. Since there's a fort right next to the starting camp, we're gonna go ahead and hop up and do that. But yeah, the point of this game, if you're unaware this far into the stream, is basically you have 2 days to wander around this map and gather equipment. In those 2 days, you need to find equipment that you think is going to be effective for the boss, which is displayed in the bottom left corner. And you get to choose, typically you get to choose like what boss you're going to fight. If you're playing the hard mode, you don't have any say in who you're fighting. But in normal mode, you do get the chance to pick who you're fighting. Nope. That's alright. Take it for now. Until I find something better, there's no reason to not have that in my inventory. I'm just not going to use the other effects. Or the weapons themselves. Let's get around. Okay, that was a bad backstab attempt, I'll admit that. We got some heals, we'll just do that. Then we're going to run over here. We're just going to blow you up. For fun, mostly. Let's flip you like a pancake. And now we got... That's pretty good. I don't mind the thought of having a weapon like that. So I'll take it, why not? Ooh, damage negation on landing charge attacks, that's good. Then I'll probably... just, here, I'll put this in my offhand, then I'll do that. There we go. Now, I want to see if this down here, south, is a flame chariot camp, because if it is, then things are going to be pretty simple. It's not. Okay. Cool. Cool beans. So we're just going to head over here to this spirit stream. We're going to jump up, go down to this church to enhance our healing items, and continue on. So the first run, the run itself was pretty rough. The boss fight itself was also pretty rough, but of course, I was playing a lot of Dark Souls 2 and Core Keeper recently, and those games are nothing like this. Totally different playstyle. Dark Souls 2, you gotta be slow and patient. In this game, you have no time to be patient. You can't afford it. You need to be fast, efficient, and you need to be all over the place. And you only have 2 days to do that, so yeah, good luck with that. Okay, so at this juncture, if there's anything like right outside the bounds that I wanted to do, I would go do it right now. But instead, we're going to stay within the bounds. Because I'm trying to set a good example for people who watch this hoping to figure out how to beat the weekly bosses. Ah, dang. Service ain't strong enough. We're gonna roll in. We're gonna backstab you. Even though we're on water, I'm doing this skill because my skill attack power is going to make it compensate for the 10% reduced damage. Get behind you. Backstab. Slam and cleave. Just missed the backstab attempt. It was pretty bad anyway, so... Come on. I thought I could get a backstab there. I was going to try it. It was worth a shot, I feel like. I feel like I'm not wrong for trying. Don't fault me for trying. And there we go. Black Knife Assassin is taken care of. Sigurd. Ooh. I like that. I really like that. That's really good. Improve critical hits. That's my thing. I love critical hits. We're going to... Smithing Stone 1 is okay, but I'm not using any gray armaments anymore. So here's the plan. I go here, I open the Everjail. I go down here, I hit the Inconvenient Church. Maybe do the Madness Camp along the way. Then, I should be high enough level to do some stuff in Central Castle. Here, let's go ahead and buff up this sword, just in case. I mean, having extra holy damage is not going to hurt me. Realistically, not going to help me with this dude all that much, but I don't really need much help with him, because he's pretty weak. In case you didn't notice, he's already dead. I'll take Stance Break. It's going to help me with my critical hit thing. Got a critical hit thing going here, so... Alright. Oh, okay. And we'll just kind of, yeah. Back up and wielding 2 armaments. Yeah, we're going to take that 100%. We're power stancing right now. Give me just 1 second. Got to respond to a text. Nothing super interesting in that. Backstab. Now we're going to go ahead and get Inconvenient Church. I call it that because there's really no routing choices you can make that ever lead you here except for the one I just made. It's incredibly rare. Not Wea. I'm not that dude. That, Elmer Fudd. I'm not Elmer Fudd. But it's incredibly rare that you actually have a routing choice that you're going to make that leads you down here and isn't, like, just a bad idea. Like, I was super low level, so I had a Stone Sword Key, so I hit that. Frenzied Flame Camp is super easy, so... You know, it was a good decision, I feel like, this time. Typically, there's never really, like, a convenient situation where you are going to be heading down to Inconvenient church. The arguably more inconvenient one is all the way over there. If it spawns on the far right edge of the forest, there's actually, like, no good routing choice at any point that will take you over there unless you start in that. Or start, like, somewhere nearby. Which I don't actually know that you can. I think you can. I'm not sure. You would think, playing this game for 770 plus hours, I would know this kind of stuff. I just don't. Ugh. Not a fan of this. Don't like this. Because this is Royal Revenant. If you can't see the boss... In fact, no, I'm not doing this. Oh, now here's the thing. I don't know. I had my ult charged. It's the only reason I'm doing this. If I didn't have the stance breaking power that I do, I wouldn't be doing this. Here. Let's do another critical. Okay, let's stop that. Alright. There we go. Typically I don't take on Royal Revenant because it's typically, under normal circumstances, it is a major time sink. But that wasn't that bad. It could have been worse. Hey, and we got a Crucible Knight Fort to clear on day 2. That's nice. We love to see it. We love to see it. Anyway, what we're going to do, we're going to hop open and we're going to hop in here, open this chest. Take that, I guess. Not helpful. Can I get out of here? Please. I'd say, I really don't like how close they're making this. But yeah, we're gonna just kind of go through the fort, I guess. I heard the bullet coming. I don't think it actually had the range to hit me, though, so I don't know why I panic rolled there. Better to roll preemptively and not get hit than to not roll and get hit. I feel like that's a good thing to think. Philosophy to live by. The question is... I don't know, I think these are my best weapons. Especially because I have a 15% attack boost from wielding 2 armaments. Like, I don't think I'm going to get better with something else. Get around that aromatic, and we're just going to... Ah, come on, man. Stop being... Just be chill. Well, how about, like, be chill. Dang, shit, I'm hungry. I would go get a snack, but I'm not gonna go get a snack in the middle of stream. So I believe in quality over snacking time. Okay. Besides, I got big dinner plans, potentially, so I can't be filling myself up. Leave some room in the tank for a pasta of some kind. Alright, let's do a critical hit for fun. Hey, Gargoyle. That's a little known fact. If you jump backwards on that... If you jump backwards when you're, when he does that big, like, sweep with the, he does that big, like, running sweep with the axe. If you jump backwards, you can get a jump attack for pretty much free. Alright, that should do it, actually. I mean, yeah. I have to say, I don't think he's surviving that. I don't know, don't get me wrong, chat. I love the weekly Everdark Smackdowns. My gosh. I hate looking over at the timer to make sure my stream is still live. Because it's like, that's not something I should have to do reasonably. But like in the middle of the second, but always in the middle of the second run or the third run, the stream just cuts. And I'm like, wow, that's great. I just lost that entire stream because the whole point of it is to go in one stretch. And again, it all comes back to PlayStation's console won't stay connected to the internet. Sue me, PlayStation. I don't care. You didn't make your console powerful enough to stay connected to the internet consistently. That's what I'm saying. I meant what I said, and I said what I meant. Now, the thing is, typically, you would want to go right up here first. I'm not going to do that. I feel confident enough in my ability to fight Gaping Jaw, as it was my first boss I cleared on Depth 5, that I feel I don't think I need that last flask, you know? Like, I'm pretty sure I'll be fine. And if I'm not going to be fine, really, should I even be able to beat the boss? I mean, like, if it ends up being the case that I need that last flask outside of Deep of Night, I've fallen off big time. Yeah, if you heard that like noise on stream, that's my eye. I don't know why it makes noise. It shouldn't. But it does. There ain't no way that actually reached me, man. Hit. And that's the end of this Crucible Night. Ooh, that's really good. I value that over my defense, honestly. I mean, seriously, I'm getting really good stuff this round. Go ahead and buy that. Oh, but for those of you who don't know, there's actually a really fast way to get up to the top of this fort. Like, watch. Hop up, you go around left. Of course. Of course it's... I hate this guy. Do not like him. Stop it. There are plenty of reasons I do not like him. One of which being he's annoying. Really, dude? How? Okay. I really don't agree with that hit, but okay. Ow. And that should do it. Down goes Magmorm. Oh my gosh, they really want me to power stance. Dude, like, I don't know what to do. In all seriousness, though, that's not doing me any good. Like, now that I think about it, that does me zero good. Almost got completely turned around. But here's what we're going to do. Because the only thing we need is attack up when wielding 2 armaments, it seems. Or that's the special effect for the run. Or the most abundant effect for the run. We're going to kill this Crucible Knight and we're going to move on. Holy dude. That's good. So now, here's what we're going to have to do. Unfortunately, because we have 2 blue weapons, we're going to need to upgrade these, which means that we're definitely going to want to, probably going to do this, actually. So we're definitely going to want to upgrade. So we're going to have to go through 2 tunnels. Get 2 Smithy Stone tubes. Which, I mean, hey, that's okay. That's okay. Backstab. About to say, if that's attack power on 2 armaments, I'm gonna lose my mind. Like, they can't give me much more of this, surely to goodness, right? Like, they can't. Sudden enemy death on attacks that land. Knew it would come in handy eventually. It killed a single enemy. So here's what we're gonna do, right? We're gonna... I don't love the boss, but we're gonna... Not a big fan of this boss. Well, you're not gonna ever hear me going to, like, rallies for the boss, necessarily. Watch the arrow. Ran into some interesting takes today. We're going back to the Dark Souls plus difficulty slider argument, it seems. And it seems to be a common take for people to say, like, well, here's the thing, right? What if Dark Souls games are your comfort games? And what if you suddenly can't play them, like you become temporarily blind or something like that? Like, okay, dude. Let's think about this for a second. If you're, like... If you, like, break your arm, you go, or you undergo some more... Let's just go with, like, partial blindness, loss of hearing, loss of motor function, like, you know, like, mental function, stuff like that. Epilepsy. Suddenly, fast-moving images cause your brain to go and malfunction. And you can't play your favorite games anymore. If that's seriously like a pressing issue to you, that's... your priorities are way out of whack for your life. And I have no shame in saying that. If your first priority is playing these games, that's coming from someone who plays these games a lot. And loves to play these games a lot. And I'm telling you, if your first priority is to play these games, your priorities are out of whack. But the argument that a lot of people make is that these games should have easy mode. And I just don't, plainly, I don't agree with that. Here's my thing. It's because they're saying, well, it doesn't negatively impact your experience. And you're right, it doesn't. I'm not saying it's wrong for these games to have an easy mode. I'm saying it's wrong to say that they absolutely should. I'm not doing this. I'm saying it's wrong to say, well, they should have easy mode. Because it is wrong to say that. Like, you are... that's not a decision for you to make. And people just want people are like, oh, well, we just want games to be accessible. And of course, because they say that, you can't argue with them, because it's like, oh, well, they're just trying to make the game accessible to everyone. Trying to make everything fair. Because everything has to be fair nowadays. The annoying thing is how some of these people word their arguments so that there really is no, like, thing you can say that can counter it. Even though there are very obvious flaws, you just can't, because of how they have it worded, and because of, like, it's a word salad, right? And here's the thing, if your example for why these games should have difficulty sliders, here's my main thing, right? I commented and said something like, these games do not need difficulty sliders, because the difficulty is an intended part of the game. It's an intended part of the experience. And I am correct in saying that. If they wanted it to be a game that was easy, they wouldn't have made it hard. If they wanted it to be a game that could be easy, they would have added an easy mode. They didn't do either of those things. This game is intended to be hard. All of these games are intended to be very difficult. That's what draws people to them, typically. But they're saying, like, it's a problem that, like, the difficulty is preventing you from enjoying the game. The difficulty is the game! This is my argument. The difficulty is the freaking game. Dark Souls 1, Prepare to Die Edition. Prepare to Die is in the name of the game. There is an achievement in Dark Souls 2 called This is Dark Souls. What do you have to do to get that achievement? Die! You have to fail. Probably to something difficult. Or maybe you just jumped off a cliff. I don't know. This is what I'm saying. Here's my thing. It is wrong to say that these games should have. You are correct in saying that my experience would not be worsened by the inclusion of an easy mode. It would not be. Because the original experience that is difficult and where I like it would still be there. Given, I would think, at this juncture in the company's lifespan, I would think a little bit less of From Software if they caved now and made an easy mode. But, like, in all seriousness, if they put in an easy mode, it would not make my experience any worse. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is when you say stuff like, they should have an easy mode, you're wrong. Because you are imposing, like, a massive, you're like saying, well, objectively, this game should have an easy mode. When really, that's your opinion. That's the thing. Everybody speaks in objectives at this point. And it's not my... Okay, I guess you could argue that it's my opinion that what you're saying is too extreme. But fact of the matter is, it's also supported by, like, data. Or not data, like facts, logic. Think about this. Like, the people who, like, Hollow Knight Silksong, it's 2D, right? That's not very accommodating to people who like 3D games. So should Hollow Knight Silksong be 3D? No, it shouldn't be. Because that would be... Should it have a 3D mode, even? I would petition... No, it shouldn't. Would the 3D mode worsen the experience of the people who liked the 2D mode? No. It wouldn't worsen the experience of those who liked the 2D mode, because the 2D mode would still exist. However, to say, in definite terms, that Team Cherry needs to put in a 3D mode would be wrong. Or they need to make the game 3D, or they need to... Like, they need to do this, they need to do that. When you start saying that a game dev needs to do something that is subjective, that's when you're wrong. And that is a fact. Because subjective needs, unless every player even if every player unanimously agrees that this would improve the quality of the game, they still don't need to do it. Because guess what? The game is the game is the game dev's creative expression. And if Miyazaki's creative expression is making a difficult game, then that's what he's making. And if his creative expression does not include a difficulty slider, it doesn't include a difficulty slider. And here's the thing, too. If you're out there, like, one of the people who are like, well, here's the thing, right? Like, if you, are, like, physically inhibited by some sort of medical emergency and you can't play your game anymore, a difficulty, accessibility settings would help. Yes, someone actually said that as a response to my argument that people who are interested in the game but are deterred by the difficulty, it's just not their type of game. Because the difficulty is an undeniable, stagnant part of these games. It is a part of these games. Whether you like it or not, these games are insanely difficult. That's their purpose. That's what they do. So if you do not like the difficulty, if the difficulty makes it so that you do not have fun playing the game, even if you like the other aspects, it doesn't matter, because the difficulty means that if you don't like the difficulty and it ruins your experience of the game, you don't like the game. And some people just don't want to admit that. They're like, well, it's just not your type of game. You're just not the type of person who likes these games. And people are just not willing to admit that. It has to be the game's fault. It's like, well, if the game wasn't so difficult, or if it had an easy mode, I would enjoy it more. No! If you had a more mature mindset, you would realize that, like, listen, it might just not be your type of game. Don't go onto the internet and complain about it. That's what I'm tired. The dude who responded to me is not one of the people. But I'm sick and tired of hearing people complain about these games for being too difficult and not having easy mode, and saying that they should have an easy mode. That's what gets me. So, I sounded a bit frustrated, and now I vented. Let's get back to the boss guide. Basically, obviously, raw damage is the key here. Sorry about that, chat. I just have to voice my views. You can jump over all these lightning waves. It's actually a lot easier than dodging them, because it seems like you have a higher window. These grabs are super easy to farm for ult points, as I call them, or just for filling the ult gauge, basically. Now I want to just kind of stay back, try to get outside of this orb. 1, 2, and we're just going to start walking towards them now. About to say, that second strong attack's going to stance break you. Typically not a good idea to go for attacks like that, but I was just sure I could get it. It's the only reason I did. But yeah, and for the record, I mean, like, who on earth said that, like, obviously, yes, I feel like accessibility settings for those who experience disabilities is a good thing for a game to include. They don't have to. If the game devs don't want to, you can't force them to. That's just a fact. It ultimately boils down to that. Now, let's get this Everdark fight started. For that, obviously, when he like creates the big storm, you're going to want to run a certain distance away from the big beam of purple light in the middle. And then try to use one of the spirit streams to jump back in. Oh. I didn't dodge that. Can't help but notice. I'm dead, probably. Yeah, that attack one-shot me. That's okay, that's why we stock up on Wind and Graces. That is nonsense. Okay, I'm starting to think that I need a new controller. Because I never get hit by that. Not anymore, anyway. But the other thing is, while he's in this phase, his secret third phase, of course, like... his lightning crackle effect on his bites gets stronger. He gets these... Okay, like, what is going on? This is actually starting to really tick me off. My controller isn't doing things properly. I don't know what's happening. It's not registering. Look! Just like that. See? That's how you do it. But some of his attacks get... Okay, that was a bad dodge on my part. It wasn't delayed enough. I'll admit that. But, like, most of his grab attacks all get a stormy after effect, which will still deal damage to you, where ordinarily you could just kind of strafe it if you stand by, like, his legs or something like that. Now you can't do that. It will hurt you still. And that, whatever you want to call it, attack. Like, his jump attack, where he jumps at you, that also has the stormy after effect. I mean, this was a phenomenal... Okay, I'll admit. Once I saw his head come around, I was like, yeah, I'm dead. That was bad on my part. But, I mean, overall, his attacks are... Okay, can't say I quite understand that, but alright. Let's just end this. His Everdark phase is very, very similar to his second phase, with just a couple more attacks and a lot more after effects and stuff. It's really not that different. So you shouldn't, if you can fight his second phase really well, you should have the Everdark fight, no problem. He's by far the easiest one to go from normal to Everdark on. I think the one that took me the most attempts to get was... Ooh. I think it was actually Everdark Augur, because originally, now, okay, that sounds bad. Obviously, that doesn't sound very good. The thing was originally Everdark Augur actually was very difficult because the Storm Ruler charge time was really long. It was really hard to get it off. But now we're going to move into the last run of the Everdark Smackdown for this week, and we're just going to go straight into it. Alright. They put all these churches in really annoying places in these runs. It's like, how about we put them further apart? Make it more inconvenient. Cool, it didn't stop surge sprinting, so I missed my backstab. Really? Backstab you. Backstab you. Backstab you. There's no way I can get over to you to backstab you in time off that shot. But I can now. And there we go. I got an extra 600 runes from every enemy. So, because type power and two-handing I'll take for now, since I'm not power stancing anything. That's pretty good. Alright, now I'm going to do something incredibly stupid, chat. You know, that's just how we roll here at Cletus Does Things Incorporated. At Cletus the First Gaming. That's just how we do things. We're going to go left. And we're going to do something that is pretty indisputably a horrible idea. Got some runes. Now we're going to upgrade our weapon to blue real quick. Just for safety's sake. And we're going to kill this rat. The rat's not the main focus. The rat needs to go there. The rat does, in fact, need to go before I do what is the main focus. If you don't know what this is, what I'm doing right here is a Night Invader camp. I get right here, dip my toe in, the Night Invader spawns. Ooh, that's perfect, actually. That's amazing. I like that. Because, see, this is my character. The character I'm playing as right now is the same Night Assassin or is the same Night Invader I got. I'm playing as Wilder. He has the same sword I do, see? And now, because we killed him, we're going to get access to a fantastic... Oh my gosh, it's perfect. A fantastic, already fully upgraded sword with the proper skill and everything. The proper skill was total luck. But he's guaranteed, if it's the same character that you're using, basically, like each character has a starting weapon. And a Night Invader is guaranteed to drop a fully upgraded and usable at any level version of that weapon that has a passive effect. Oh my gosh, I'm stuck. Completely stuck. I can't move. I hate all of you. Get out of the door, dude. Why are you all just like camping the door? I don't even want to fight any of you. I want to go upstairs and I want to smack a golem. Alright, let's kill a golem. Stop, dude. Oh, come on. Why didn't it start aiming up? It just... Okay. If the target lock point is, like, above me, I would think that it would start aiming up. But maybe I'm wrong. Excellent. Wonderful. Get away from the side of grace. I need to level up, man. Yeah, I was about to say, look, I'm looting the loot pool. They don't like it when I do that. And I love how the rat goes into attack every time I go to hit that dude. It's hilarious. Alright, so there's one church within the bounds of night. It really doesn't matter to me, though, because we got really lucky and already got our hands on the proper kind of weapon. Basically, against this boss, we'll want to have a lightning weapon so we can knock it out of a specific attack that it does. Ooh, that's pretty good. Keep that, not for the intent of being used, but we'll keep that just for fun. Or not just for fun, you know what I mean. We'll keep it because it's useful. But now, I have a fully upgraded weapon with a lightning attack on it. Which is good, because there are actually 0 lightning locations on the map, it seems. Thank goodness I got one out of that guy. Otherwise, I might not have gotten one at all. All right. Give you a good and proper whack. Give you a good and proper whack. Give you a good and proper grapple. Okay. Never mind, you also get a good and proper whack. You get a good and proper backstab. Good and proper. Projectile damage drop-offs. That's good damage. So, with what we have left map-wise, what can we even do, really? What can we do? Where can we go? Well, let's see here. Obviously, potential candidate is where I'm going right now. Yeah, that's it. We're just gonna do this. Castle basement should be doable at level 5. We're gonna do the critical hit first, then on his recovery, we're gonna punish with a lightning slash. There we go. Oh, that's a shame. Do the boss now. Well, now I like the sound of that. It is not interesting. Not a Crucible Knight Fort this time. But I didn't hear any pop trolls on my way in, so that means it's a Banished Knight Fort, I'm guessing. It's a pot troll fort, I just didn't hear them on the way in. Ooh, what's that? Sounds good. Fire pot, warming stone. Nothing super desirable there. Yeah, now we have an Erdtree Great Bow for, you know, rainy days, I guess. And we have a Wilder's Great Sword +2 with Lightning Slash as the skill. And I get FP back on landing attacks. So I get the FP back for doing the Lightning Slash. So here's the thing. Even if I end up getting something crazy like Dragon King's Cragblade... Ooh, Walking Simulator. Even if I end up getting something crazy like Dragon King's Cragblade, some better, which I don't think there is any better weapon for Fuldor, I'm going to at least be offhanding this so I constantly get FP regen. Or I guess I do jump attacks like exclusively on Dragon King's Cragblade, so that's not going to help me there. But if I end up using Bolt of Grand Sacks, I'm going to be using a lot of FP. And of course, magic is the magic of life. And I need FP to do magic. I can't see anything. Head hit. Good old Walking Simulator. We all love him. Has anyone ever stopped to ask, how Walking Simulator do? Ow. I don't think so. Or is it a question that needs to be asked? It's pretty implied that it's going pretty badly for this guy. Now I'm going to be a good role model here. Take the Winding Grace instead of a cool weapon or something. Not that there were really any cool weapons. Cool. A bit disappointed. Here, let's take care of this troll. Dang, dude. No complaints here. Of course. So why wouldn't that happen? Of course, because why wouldn't you just keep swinging? Why wouldn't a few enemies just explicitly ignore the aggro laws set by the game? I mean, here's the thing, like, you're not supposed to be able to get ganked this easily in this game, but a couple enemies are glaring exceptions. And, yeah, in case you couldn't tell, these dudes are the exceptions. These dudes, foot soldiers, stuff like that, just common, ordinarily mundane and relatively harmless enemies. Guys, you're actually just comboing me to death. I can't even move. Say, one of you guys just needs to go. You're getting me killed. Really? Why didn't it dodge, dude? Really? How'd you thread that shot, man? Really? I loot the loot pool. I'm not even trying to fight you, man. Back the heck off. We'll ditch that. It's not that important. But I should very much like to get up to the top real quick. Main thing is refill on healing items. Go, dudes. Tell you what, my controller is getting procedurally worse and worse, and it's really frustrating. What the heck, man? Why did it jump again? I pressed it once. I pressed the jump button once. Alright. Night 1. I don't know why I'm complaining. I'm level 11 on day 1. Okay, so the goal of these runs was just to make me miserable, I see. Like, everything I don't like about the runs has happened. Stop that. So you dodge my ult, I'm gonna be livid. Dang. Okay, I don't know what I'm complaining about. My damage is absolutely absurd. Cool. Nice fight, if you could even call it that. We'll take sudden enemy death on attacks. Now here comes the unfun part. This is kind of why I wanted to do the entire fort on day 1, because the unfun part is coming up right now. And that is, unfortunately, getting the last 2 churches. Because look at how far apart they are. Look, there's one on this side of the map. And there's one all the way over there. Now, I'm apparently a little bit rusty, despite me only taking like a 1-day break. And B, I need to set a good example, and I need to be like, oh, well, you need to get all these churches. Oddly enough, I guess what bugs me is because typically what happens in these Everdark Smackdown streams, right? Typically, I get absurd loot. I get insanely powerful stuff. And these have just been alright. I'm not acting like I don't do crazy damage, but like, I mean, these haven't, you can't deny. Like, I got way better stuff. In some of the previous Everdark Smackdowns. Don't know, guess I just kind of missed that. Okay, I can't resist Death Rybird. I always have to do it. However, we're going to avoid that other field boss just because I don't like it. Oh gosh. So you know what we're not going to do? We're not going to do that. Fight this thing outright, the way nature intended. By dealing all of its health in like a single critical hit. Really? Like, really? You really want to play that game? I don't think you do. Skill FP costs, it's good. First to go is always damage negation for me. Which, given, I know I'm sabotaging myself by doing that. Here, let's buff up. I know I say I typically avoid it, but it's if I'm buffed up, I guess I should be able to kill it pretty quickly. If I'm not, I'm going to be mad at myself for saying, oh, this is a good idea. Couldn't get my hit off first. Wonderful. Stop that. Holy attack power, holy damage negation. We'll take affinity damage negation. It's much better than the specific holy one, actually. So we're going to... And we're going to see if we can get over to this church over here. I think I finally cooled down from my little rant about difficulty sliders. I don't know, I just really hate that argument. It's so brain dead, and frankly, it's overused. It's like, well, let's think about this. The game's too hard, and I need to be better, but I don't have time to get better. And it's okay to not have time to get better. It's only wrong once you start saying that that's a problem with the game. Because it's a problem with you. I'm not saying that you're doing something wrong. I'm just saying that it's not a problem with the game. It just means that you probably don't like the game. This Everdark stream has been a lot more yapping than normal, and I apologize for that, but... Oh, come on. Okay, you know what? Just for that, have fun in Davy Jones' locker. Yeah, that's right, I farmed your grab. I farmed your grab. Suck it, crab. Now we're gonna go over here. Here. I'm gonna kill the Erd Tree Avatar. And we're gonna hope that this gives us some good levels. Some goody goods. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. Now we're gonna call me a lumberjack the way I be chopping at this tree. The way I be chopping at this tree. Okay. Ooh. I'll take that. No actual interest in either of those. I played it up a bit. But, okay, I will admit, the Watchdog staff almost got me. I did kind of want it. It did have, if I recall correctly, didn't it have holy damage negation on it? So that would help with full gore. Unfortunately. Just not what I'm looking for. Hey, crystal people. Wait a minute, wasn't this exactly where they were last round? Like, forgive me if I'm wrong. Was this not, like, exactly where they were last round? Stop jumping around. Nobody loves you. Stop it. Off my screen. Now there's only one boss left. Two boss. Okay, fine. Actually, no, there are only like 2 field bosses I can do. Because again, there's a difference between a field boss and a point of interest boss. Being the fact that a field boss is in the field and a point of interest boss isn't. In case you couldn't tell by the names. Ow. Or a field boss is in a field, and a point of interest boss is a point of interest. It's almost like it's in the name. Dave. Now, let's go over to this Knight's Cavalry. Let's give him the old 1-2. I mean, if you're gonna make it super easy like that, might as... Oh my gosh. Okay, there's the damage. I woke up. There's the damage. Found the damage. We found the damage, chat. That was mainly just for comedic effect. I just knew he wasn't going to be able to reach me before I shot him. Item discovery, lightning damage negation. Neither of those are super helpful. What we're going to do instead... let's take care of the Banished Knights in this place. Good night. Actually, you're a bad one. Ooh, that's good. I like that. Is that skill attack power up? Heck, I'll take it over jump attacks, I guess. I don't typically like ditching stuff like that, but the passive on this is so much better. Here, I'll offhand this so I at least feel better about what's on my back. So big. But yeah, we're going to finish out this stream, then we're going to get back to some nice, relaxing Core Keeper. Bye, guys. Let's go kill Pumpkinhead just for the heck of it. He might have a good passive on the weapon. And if nothing else, I could upgrade a random weapon and make people confused as to why I upgraded it. Like, I don't know, a great bow. Oh no! What happened? Is this going to hurt? It is going to hurt. Oh my gosh, I did 1590. That I do like. I'll take this with next time too. Now you see, typically, if you're beating this boss solo for the first time, you will want to go to a merchant and one of these merchant-bearing points of interest. They have this little icon. You can see it like right here. You want to go to these points of interest and buy a Winding Grace from the merchant in the point of interest. But because I found one, I just didn't feel very pressed to do so. So I didn't. And again, that's not a good example. The best example would be if I bought the Winding Grace on top of getting this one. That would be a good example. Boss we have for today. Oh gosh, I killed it instantly. Boss we have is... why can't I think of the name? Not that I can't think of the boss, it's that I can't think of the name. Who am I even running? Oh yes, Fulgor. Lightning. Nox Dragonkin Soldier. That's the name of the boss. I don't know why I couldn't think of that. First there was yesterday with my hiccup with the Demon Princes, and now today. Can't even remember the name of Nox Dragonkin Soldier. Maybe I should make a video essay on why he's underappreciated in Elden Ring and exactly what he should be difficulty-wise in Nightreign. Like, he's way too easy in Elden Ring. He's a joke. Unless you literally get to that area when you're supposed to. Which, I mean, 9 out of 10, I would say, like, at least 7 out of 10 players don't get to Nox Dragonkin Soldier when they're supposed to. I feel like that's fair. Really thought I could hit that hand on its way over, but I should have moved forward a bit if I wanted to do that. Yeah, you're done. How many teeth is too many teeth? And like his dentist bill must be insane. I'll take max stamina. It's going to be helpful to be able to dodge and swing a lot more. But yeah, we reached max level. There we go. Oh yeah, guys, I'm wearing Zelda socks today. And they say I'd rather be in Hyrule. Which is completely true, yeah. Here, let's buy this. Let's do something confusing, shall we? Nobody's gonna wonder why I upgraded this random great bow at all. Buy this. I doubt that the FP consumption is going to be an issue. I feel like that's going to be fine. But anyway, if you watched up to this point, thank you for getting this far. It is now time to bring an end to the 6th weekly Everdark Smackdown. That's right, we've been doing this for 6 weeks. That's just over 1 month. That's a month and a half. That's pretty good. But now, here we go. Everdark Fulgore. Dodge in on that. Just because that's what you gotta do. You can jump this if you're confident in your jump timing, and if you're not and you think you'll take chip damage like that, best just dodge. However, this one is better to the jump, but I didn't even do a jump attack, so it actually doesn't really make a difference. Here, do your lightning attack. Knock him out of his spear attack. Now, okay, it's important to note, if he's already crackling like this, you see how he's crackling right now? If he's crackling like this, one lightning attack will not knock him out of it. The only way you can knock him out of it is if you stance break him. But now, let's get him out of this phase. You've seen this phase. You fought his normal form. Let's bring it around to the Everdark phase. The phase that makes this boss absolutely goated. Or Centaur. That's a horrible joke. Sorry, I read a text, that's why I got hit there. Then we search to the side, explode, and we're gonna have to roll on this one. You can't just search to the side there. Explode, and if we stand totally still, in fact, we're going to sit down and wait on him. We're gonna sit. I'll admit, that was stupid. I shouldn't have backstepped there. I thought I could get out of range. That was a bad idea. Let's stop messing around. Actually, let's keep messing around a little bit. I'm having fun with this guy. Come on. 1, 2. Oh, he jumped. He can jump. He's got jumps. Got ups. Again. I thought he was going to do it a 4th time, but okay. 3 times is insane. I just kind of like walk to the side. I cannot. Okay, cool. I can't be that, like, haunting. Okay, so I can... One, 2, 3. You can also jump that, but if you're in front of him, his feet might come down on you, so you gotta be careful about that. Got any other moves? I know you do. That's why I'm asking. Don't get me wrong, he's one of the coolest Everdarks. He's really easy. Funny, because I actually had the hardest time with his original boss the first time I tried to time it. I realized I wasn't in the right spot. Because I was standing still the whole time instead of moving. What I'm actually trying to do here, keep this fight going as long as possible. Leave. Well, yeah, typically I would just end this fight, but... least get your big move in. On the last 2 hits, you roll in, so you can punish. Now it's time for the arrow. Now what you want to do, the second he starts aiming it, sprint a single direction and don't stop. It's going to be very difficult to do if you have a character with low stamina. Very easy to do with Wilder, because if you really don't feel comfortable, just start surge sprinting. You can do the grapple and then jump strategy to start your surge sprint, which takes a lot less stamina, and is actually faster a little bit. I was kind of curious to see if normal sprinting to the side worked, and it does. Now, the only reason I started going to the side there is because of the rain of arrows. Didn't feel it, didn't trust it. You want to try and roll over to his side like I did there. I missed. I dodged too early there. That was my bad. Hello? Alright, it's been fun, chat, but I think we're gonna just end this stream right now. Finally time we released Fulgor from his purgatory of facing him. Ow. I wouldn't roll in on the 4th to last hit like I just did, but the 2nd to last hit you're safe to roll in on. Okay, yeah, I admit it, we're still messing with him a little bit. It's just like, can you blame me? Oh, here. Not thirsty, you know? Just a little bit thirsty. Okay, this is actually... Actually gotta lock in a little bit for that attack. It's still really tough. Up on the edge of the arena. Oh, there he is. Yeah, we're still messing with him. Probably without the lock. He just never stops trying, does he? Alright, I let this go on for long enough. It was fun while it lasted. Ah, I dodged too early, dang it. Finally, he punished me for trying to showboat. I'm so proud of you, Fulgor. Unfortunately, it doesn't matter. Okay, I showboated for long enough. He'd had enough. He'd had enough. I'll admit that. I was showboating for way too long. That's okay, though. We got him. I was really having fun with that. Well, anyway, that is all 3 Everdarks for this week. Now, obviously, bit of an odd final one there, and obviously the first run was really rough. That was not good. But we got it done. You hopefully can understand how to fight these bosses just a little bit better. It's cool if you don't. It's cool if you hate me. But anyway, that's where we're going to leave this stream. I'm going to hop over to Core Keeper, and we're going to just continue the fun over there. So until then, bye-bye! Bye-bye! And... that voice hurts. Bye-bye!